Y'all ready for this? Are y'all as ready for this as I'm ready for this? Because I'm not ready for this. But I'll do it any fucking way. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This K Stop Collective. We're back again for One Piece chapter 825. WE Times. You know, we got newspaper articles and shit going on in the main chapter that's convoluted if you really think about it.
It's Oda. That's Oda through and through, son.
It's we're getting the chapter right off of Golden Week. We got it on Monday, so that's pretty cool. We didn't have a chapter last week, though. We ain't gonna have a chapter next week. But this was a really, really interesting chapter, specifically for one part. From uh from a structural standpoint, that's the only thing that happened really was the ending. But from a pacing, we we went 0 to 100 real quick because as I was reading through, I was like, okay, this is just exhibition. This is just exhibition all the way through. And then when we got to that last page, I was like, fuck yes. This is what we've been waiting for, man. We're getting on with that Sanji story, and I'm loving it. So let's get into it, man. I'm gonna hand it over to Cody.
We start the chapter off with Big Mom's ship being all alive and singing and shit, which I think it's her power. I think that's what she does. She could either animate things or I don't know. It's weird, but I think it's her power. The ship is definitely alive.
She ain't the animate fruit.
Yeah, she's an animate woman, and we go to Vito talking to Sanji about like, hey man, just join the crew. You might as well. Like, you're gonna marry this bitch. You're gonna fucking join the crew. It's what you're gonna do. It's gonna happen. And Sanji's talking. He's finally just like tough talking. Like, guys, I'm not like y'all can go fuck yourselves. It's not gonna happen. Just like I'm here to do what I was told, and all this shit's not gonna happen.
He was on Sanji dick hard.
Yeah,
hard.
dude.
Like,
He was looking forward. Yeah, he was looking forward to talking to Sanji. Like he mentioned how they used to have this comic strip in the WE Times, and it showed the Marines in a classic bout against the Germa 66, and he always was actually rooting for the bad guy, even though, of course, the good guy always wins the day and stuff.
He wished his mom cheated on his daddy with Sanji daddy.
Jesus Christ.
So he could be a Vinsmoke.
And Vito Vinsmoke actually sounds pretty cool, but he the comic was real reminiscent of it was just propaganda to make kids really root for the Marines, which really, I mean, you know, if we read One Piece, and we all do, you know, it's bullshit. Everybody knows the Marines are just super corrupt and all this other shit. But anyway, he mentions that Sanji has his own room, and the second I actually noticed on the way to the room, they had those little soldiers walking around, which is very reminiscent once again of like the whole Alice in Wonderland theme that I think they're going for. They got Carrie, which is a little bunny, and she says, you know, it's a Wonderland and all that stuff, and it's just everything about that just reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, really. And you see in the background everybody's carrying presents, and Cornell pointed out that it was for the wedding, which I didn't even make that connection. Fucking genius. And so as we go into Sanji's room, you see that even the door gets animated, and he has a little face, which reminds me of the lock on the door from Alice in Wonderland. And so the door opens up, and you see Caesar Clown. He's in jail inside Sanji's room, which is really funny. He's like, why does he get the prince treatment over here? I mean, he's there to get married anyway, right? So you can go on with the next point.
Yeah, we get introduced to this character named Killer Gotti, big tall bastard with a gun on his arm that looks like that shit. Was it Z? Was it you remember he had something on his arm?
Oh, Z, yeah.
Yeah,
Z himself, yeah. He reminds me, he looks like Jozu, but with Z's kind of, thing. I like Z, man.
Killer Gotti. He's part of the fire tank pirates. And he goes in there talking shit like, hey, let me talking shit to one of my crewmates. And his sister comes in like, hey, you know who that is? His people gonna fuck up our daddy. Let's go.
Now, see, I don't know if that was his sister. I'm not trying to argue with you, but I think that might have been.
did say they looked alike, though.
You think so? I was thinking that might have been his wife that got married into it, so they could have the fire tank pirates as a part of their crew.
That's so weird.
You feel me?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but they mentioned that Sanji's just really not having it. Vito's like, "Oh, we'll have to consider this conversation later." He's like, "You fucking wish." Like he's just talking mad shit. He's like, "Do what you want to do. I know what I'm here for. I'm not doing what y'all want me to do. Like fuck this shit." And I love how they really barely call him Sanji. They call him like Blackleg when they talk about him, which I really like.
We go on to our Straw Hat Pirates. They're starving. Luffy completely fucked them over with that nasty concoction that he made.
Using all the supplies. Luffy's skin was really dry too, so he looked like all wrinkly and stuff.
Chopper was really talking about me. I want to rip off this fur. And the sea is boiling, like it's hot. They're drying up. That's the why. They even explain why the sea, like why there was such a hot part.
It's classic One Piece weather, man. The terrain, like shit. On the way to Fishman Island, they experienced like 4 different types of weather. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they got out of Dressrosa, remember the ice? With they were talking to homeboy's grandma to rub the gum out of and shit. Yeah, it was like ice and lightning and all kind of stuff. It's just how the weather is, man.
Yeah, but they finally catch some food. Plot device. It's fucking poisonous, and Luffy eats it. No questions asked. I don't even think it was cooked.
Yeah, the second it jumped out the water, and Chopper even says, like, okay, hold on, let me go look up for the fish encyclopedia, and don't touch it. And Luffy's like, this shit is delicious. Just already eaten it, of course. And as Chopper was looking for the fish encyclopedia, I thought it was really funny. He said Sanji's locker was just full of dirty magazines, which is hilarious. Like, what else would it be full of if not like recipes and naked women?
Really think about that. You never see him reading that outside, so he be cooking while he reads dirty magazines.
Yeah, no,
Let that
think it's
sink
recipes.
in.
It's not.
Let that sink in.
Zoro works out all the time. Sanji reads dirty magazines. it's just how it goes, you know. And so he gets back with it and with the stuff about the fish, and he sees that Luffy's already eaten it. Of course, Luffy just like collapses and starts foaming at the mouth, and they're like, Luffy's dying. And Luffy's even like, I see the light, and they're like, don't go towards it. It was hilarious. And they do mention, which I really do like, that he does have a tolerance to poison, which is because of the Impel Down incident, how he got so much poison attacks put on him by my boy Morgan. And Morgan's only my boy because of Pirate Warriors, to be honest. Pirate Warriors makes me feel more connected to that shit than anything else. But and then the chemicals that what's her name? The co-person of dragons, the she-man lady.
Oh fucking.
Oh my gosh. She calls him Straw Hat Boy or some shit. It's like the gay like transformer.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, whatever. So what happens next, Corny?
We move on to Big Mom's territory. Like they go from straight boiling hot equator shit to sweet snow.
Yeah, and Nami can point it out right away that it was, it is what it is, being the weather
Shout out
expert
to that education she got.
That's what I'm saying.
And it goes right along with the cover page, actually.
Yeah, you're right, actually. So we see underneath the water, there's these territorial sea slugs, and I noticed that it's like a checkerboard pattern like Alice in Wonderland, but also on the sea slug itself, it had little bunny ears and what looks like a little Mad Hatter hat and a little tail, which is that's so strange to me. I think that's what Big Mom does. Like, she makes things. That can't be anything. There can't be any other
She just run around going, and you might.
Yeah, dude. I think she makes stuff. And because that's just so strangely decorated and so Big Mom, it's not like they just slapped some shit on a regular sea slug. Like, that looks way too coincidentally answered.
In my head, I imagine her animating food and then eating it alive.
I feel like it would be like, who was that little girl that ate the grapes off her fingers in the Dressrosa arc? That when she slapped things and turned it into toys? Yeah. I feel like that's what Big Mom does. She just slaps shit and animates. I really feel like that's how she does it.
This shit happened a lot, like old boy said. Change his face.
The Okama. That was what, Mr. 2? No, that was like number 3 maybe. No, that was 2 actually, yeah. Wow, that's where they got the trope from, like, Sanji fights the second to strongest and third strongest and Zoro fights the second. Anyway, so they notice the sea slugs and they start getting a little bitty on their little phone and stuff. And they're wondering who that was, but he said that's just like a reaction, like it bounces off as the waves.
That was explained to us in the last chapter.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have missed that. But they now know that they're in Big Mom's territory. Almost immediately, they see a ship in the distance, and PCOM says, "Oh, that's our scouting ship, most definitely." And Chopper's panicking in the background, mentioning how they're very low on supplies. They can't really heal up Luffy right now. And as soon as that happens, we see this ship, and it's not the scouting ship, and what seems to be a member of the Vinsmoke family. I initially thought it was Sanji's father, but Cornell pointed out he did say that he was one of 3 brothers. So it could definitely be one of Sanji's brothers. He has a little swirly thing, and he got some sick old shades and shit. Hype as fuck. So the point being is that I feel like it wouldn't be as big a threat if Luffy was 100% right now. But he's not, so they're definitely open to being captured, and it's just like you said, a plot device. It's so coincidental that he just so happened to be incapacitated, and then this guy comes out. And by the way, the ship itself was looking down on the Straw Hat crew, which is just convincing me that that's what she does. She animates stuff. She brings things to life with her power.
Yeah. Lord knows how many family members are part of the Vinsmoke family out of Germa 66.
That's true.
But, she could have aunts, uncles, cousins.
So if they get defeated, army. That's true. She's a Yonko for a reason. They have territories. Yeah. So if they get defeated, I wonder what happens with what's the collateral to all that.
That's a good question. Yeah. I think they'll help heal Luffy and then try to convince him to turn around.
You out of your fucking mind. Bro, they gotta capture the shit out of that crew.
Honestly, because we don't know the dynamic they have with Sanji. And they might appreciate.
They just care about Sanji, if you ask me. They probably would rather no interference. Like they just want Sanji, get the wedding done, like you're part of our crew.
And they might appreciate them keeping Sanji on the side. Like, hey, we'll heal you because you're Sanji's friends, but you got to turn the fuck around. Like,
pipe dream, son. No way they're gonna be that nice and welcoming.
I don't know. They are assassins. Fucking no. Anyway, that's it for this chapter. We ain't gonna have shit next week.
The dreaded message that nobody wants to see at the last page of One Piece is that it's on hiatus. But you know what?
This chapter.
Oda, we love you, man. Hope you get some good, well-deserved rest. Get your little foot rub. You know what I'm saying? Eat a little juicy peach, son. Like, do what you gotta do. Relax and get the fuck back to drawing, son. Because
I just know that we don't get shit about this Vinsmoke family. Like, probably like at the end, maybe not even at the end of the next chapter. Because, he's gonna jump to something else.
Yeah, I'm thinking in the middle of the arc that
they're just tickling our nuts. He was just teasing us. That's it.
Good old-fashioned Oda way, man.
But yeah, that's it, guys.
That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Stay tuned for more. We're definitely gonna be doing some different stuff next week since this is on hiatus. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the bottom. Networks. Yep, Twitter, all that good stuff. And stay tuned, guys.
You can talk about Wednesday.
Ah, fuck.
Stay tuned for more fuck-ups.
Should we have like a special? I think we should have like a special greeting and the opposite of a greeting.
Yeah, that's it.
Man,
I got the energy to lean forward and press stop. So you can do that for me.